What is goody, my gang, and welcome back to another YouTube video. You guys loved my last APES sustainability Fortnite edit, and I appreciate y'all running up the comments. Now, today I made a sustainable DIY project, and for this, I was pickling some onions and cucumbers. Now, how do you want to go about this? I had two jars that were bought to hold, that held other things, and once we were done they were empty, so I cleaned them out and I used them as my jars for pickling. And then to actually make the pickles, I had onions, red onions, and cucumbers that were laying around, so I decided to use them because pickling will increase their shelf life, and so I can keep them in the fridge for about 2 to 3 weeks. Now, to actually pickle it, what we need to do is do a mixture of half vinegar, equal parts vinegar, and equal parts water, with about a tablespoon of salt for each cup of each substance. So I was about 1 cup of each, so I had 2.5 tablespoons of salt I put in there for flavor and also for the pickling process. And what you want to do is you want to boil these substances together and put the salt in there, and when it's boiling, mix it all together. And once it's done, and as soon as it's done boiling, you want to turn the heat off and put your pickles in, or whatever you're going to pickle, into the jars, as well as I added dill to my pickles and then thyme to both the pickles and the onions. You can get all this at your local grocery store, and the jars you can either buy or you could have laying around at home and reuse them. And as well as the onions and the cucumbers, you just go buy that. Vinegar, also something you can buy or have laying around the house, a lot of people do. Water and salt, household staple items. Okay, so then once you have all your stuff in the jar, what you want to do is pour your pickle liquid until the whatever you're pickling is fully submerged in the liquid, and then you want to close off the jar. You don't want to do it immediately, because if the liquid is too hot, then your jar might shatter, so you want to wait a little bit so that it's just hot enough that it will still maintain its heat, but not too hot that it will shatter your jar. Now, once you do that, you want to close it off and leave it to cool for till room temperature. And once it's cooled to room temperature, then you can store it in the fridge and you're good to go. And basically, the pickle flavor will take a few days to develop, but once it's developed, you can eat it whenever you want, as well as it'll live in your fridge for about 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe even longer. So why is this actually sustainable? Well, I looked into it, and the biggest APES topic that this deals with is sourcing everything you have locally, and as well as recycling and reducing carbon emissions. So the onions and pickles, you can make sure you buy them locally sourced, which reduces your carbon footprint. Furthermore, you would not be going to the store to buy some pickles or pickled onions. You make it at home, which is going to reduce your carbon footprint, as well as your reliance on transportation that is going to release carbon into the air. So overall, a great reduction in your carbon footprint. Furthermore, we're going to help preserve those whatever you pickle, so in my case cucumber and onions, for a lot longer than if we just left them regularly. They would go rotten, and so they're going to last a lot longer now that they're pickled, and they're going to be tasty and delicious. And so that's going to help proper resource management. There's no script, by the way, this is off the dome. Anyways, it's proper resource management so that we can use our resources responsibly. Furthermore, we can see that pickling finally has a recycle and reuse kind of thing going on here, where if you have jars laying around, you can reuse them instead of throwing them away or doing whatever. So this is going to help you to recycle. And so basically, for all these reasons, that's how you pickle, what you need to pickle, and why it's sustainable. Thanks for watching. Shout out to my grandma. She helped me cut everything, so I didn't cut myself. And so, shout out to her. And thank you for watching.